All right, this is SpectraLayer Pro 4. And what you're looking at here is Casey's original, the second theme, not the first one. And all the colors that you're seeing here are the various instruments broken out into their component parts. I've taken a couple hours to get this done. Let's listen to what this sounds like first off. All right, so there's the original theme. Now, if you look over here, these are all the layers. So this is all the different colors that you're seeing here. I've got a counter melody. I've got an end upward run, Casey's Coast to Coast logo at the end, a high melody, a bass line, and a bottom bass note. They're all turned on at this point. So let's go ahead and let's just listen to this counter melody. We're going to solo this out so you can see what this sounds like by itself. All right, so that took some time to painstakingly pull all of that out. But it is there, and if we turn on everything else but pull that out of the melody, I've muted this. Now let's turn it back on and off and back on. You can see how that works. You can do that with any of these elements here. Here's another of the, this is what I call the high melody. And if we were to turn on the counter melody at the same time, you get a feel for what's going on. And of course, you can turn on any of these things. So let's just listen to the bass line by itself briefly. And then we'll turn on the counter melody. And the high melody. Put the full mix back, what was left after I extracted everything else. And you pretty much got everything there. Now, this Casey's Coast to Coast logo and end upward run, those are only at the end of the theme song. And if we come all the way down here to the end, and I turn off everything and turn on those melodies, you can hear this. All right, that's the only place in the mix where those exist. Now, the only other thing here that you might notice is this layer here. This is the bass line, and it follows the other bass line closely. This is just the last two fundamental frequencies of the bass, and I'm not turning that on because I'm using that in Adobe Audition to kind of pump up the low end of this theme song because it was a little thin in my opinion. So I just grabbed the bottom two bass notes and would use those to kind of mix it in and emphasize that a little bit. So once you got all of this torn out, then I take and extract each one of these layers individually and save it out as a WAV file. From there, then I can pull it into Adobe Audition, layer them up, and then I can pan these channels. Like for instance here, this counter melody is panned all the way to the left. The high melody is panned all the way to the right. The Casey's logo at the end is panned just slightly to the left. The upward run, if I'm not mistaken, I've got that programmed to go from one channel to the next. So it kind of pans from left to right as it's playing. Obviously, what was left over after I pulled everything out is up here, and that's being fed right down the middle, and the bass line is being fed right down the middle as well. All right, so let's take a listen to what I